Hello everyone and welcome to another Black Desert video. So today I want to talk about 5 things you could do while you're on seasons and things that you should do earlier on as a beginner instead of waiting till the end game, simply because a lot of these tasks are trivial and it'll feel worse doing them later just because you could be doing other things and making more silver and just anything else versus something you kind of need to do but you want to do it earlier on. So the best time would be on the seasons. And I wrote a list down. So the number one thing, if you are a beginner, start doing the progression pass. I know a lot of people forget this is even a thing. And if you're already done with it, there's like no reason to ever look at it again. But essentially it's this. Over here, it teaches you everything. It's basically the tutorial of the game, and it came out a few years ago. But I truly think that a lot of these teaches you how to play the game better than some of the tutorials actually do. So whether you're a PvEer, like doing any life skilling, enhancing, and just like basic other things over here, it teaches you how to go about doing things. And I think that like most of these things in this game are still relevant, and it'll just teach you the basics better than most tutorials do. So yeah, make sure to do this one early on. It gives you rewards for actually doing it. Granted, the rewards were a lot better back in the day when, you know, a couple billion silver was actually bigger than it is now. But either way, free silver is free silver. Make sure to do it early on. Number 2 is the adventure journals. Oh boy. Let's be honest, these are not really that fun. You have to do it. And the reason why you should do this earlier on instead of later is because there's a bunch of trivial tasks you have to do, and a lot of them are not really straightforward, to the point where like I'm pretty sure like 99% of people looked up a guide to finish them. So the reason why you want to do them is because it gives permanent stats to your account. And like when it says all AP and DP, that's this number right here. And then HP is obviously your totals and everything. So I guess a benefit of actually doing it is, let's say you are starting your seasonal character, right? You won't have these, but then if you're starting a second season character compared to someone else, you're going to have all these stat bonuses as an advantage. So these are like family-wide stats. And, you know, so any character on your account will have these bonuses. And so basically you have an advantage over people who just don't have it done. It's not even an RNG gap. It's really just how much have you played the game kind of thing. So I guess the first thing you want to do is probably the Igor Bartali's adventure. And there's like 15 books. And you basically want to do the ones that give you permanent like stats on the side first. AP and DP, highest priority. All of these are, you know, they're nice to have secondary. The Advice of Valks and the permanent enhancement chance, nice to have, but it's more of those like optional ones where you can get, if you never want to enhance in this game, you can literally buy like 99% of things, and even then it's not really that big of a bonus unless you're like min-maxing everything to the end game. But like most things you want to get, straight up just stats to your account. And then after that, these two, a lot of these storybooks are just doing the Land of the Morning, like Questline, and when various events happen throughout the year, you do that. And yeah, that's basically it. The next thing I want to talk about is the Magnus Questline. So, as we all know, the Magnus Questline is, you know, just this well thing. You start a quest in Velia, and what it does is you basically start a like 117 quest line chain. Yeah, I know that's a lot. I don't want to spoil it for you guys just in case you've never done it yourself. But basically, when you do it, you get a free PEN boss gear, and you know that saves you what, like less than 20 billion silver. So it's a very nice beginner friendly thing. And yeah, you should probably do that. There's a lot of puzzles. Nowadays, the puzzles are solved, so if you don't like them, you just watch a video on YouTube, and chances are, done. So when this came out, I believe it took me around 7 to 8 hours to complete it. And that was me actually solving the puzzles. There were no guides on day one, or at least very few of them. And now there's a whole list, and you could probably finish it in 4 to 5 if you just run through it. So yeah, that's actually something you want to do. Plus the Magnus well. I don't believe you need the quest chain done to be able to actually use it, but the Magnus well allows you to teleport from point A to B in various regions, so it's probably something you should get done eventually. Now, the next thing you want to do is, as a beginner, you want to do the quest line, like the main story, get level 61 to unlock your free PEN Blackstar, and do the whole PEN 2 Vala thing to get a second PEN Blackstar. What I would recommend to you guys is, let's say you're looking at your gear, pretend these are, Black Stars instead. I would recommend you guys getting 2 PEN Blackstars, like 1 main hand, 1 awakening. Get those first before going into Sovereign. Sovereign is an endgame weapon that you're gonna go for eventually. However, like, enhancing it is actually really an endgame thing. So trust me when I say that you need a lot of silver, and it's not like a beginner friendly thing. There's a lot of upgrades that you want to get higher priority and are probably cheaper than going Sovereign. So it's better to like even it out and get like triple PEN Blackstars before even thinking about Sovereign. Yes, I know that purple is nice, like, oh, people think Sovereign weapons best in slot, gotta get it early. But if you have a Sovereign weapon and then let's say you have like, some random try Blackstar or something, trust me when I say the grind is gonna feel worse than just getting like all your PEN Blackstars first and then upgrading from there. So I think that's a beginner trap. I actually see this quite often. People are like, should I get a Sovereign? And then they have some like random weapon for the other weapon. No, you want to even it out. Trust me on that. When you try to go enhancing Sovereign, it's not as easy as it sounds. It's a very cost-effective endgame item. So yeah, you're going to do it eventually, but it's not like a beginner thing. Also, while you're on season, I believe this is permanent, but you can get the free tier 10 horse. And of the 3 of them, here's what I'd recommend. So there's 3 of them: the Pegasus, the Unicorn, and the Doom horse. There's 3 different kinds. I think the Pegasus will be the best one for your average player, and just the best one for your everyday activities, getting from point A to B, taking shortcuts. I think the Pegasus is the best one to go. Doom horse is more for active riding, and so if you drift, you could do it 3 times. So let's say you're running in a straight line from point A to B. If you are actively riding, the Doom is faster, but it can't do as many shortcuts as the Pegasus can. Whereas, like, if let's say you're trying to get from Duvenkroon to Velia or something, you being able to jump off a mountain and not die is actually pretty nice. So it's kind of fun to just kind of fly. And the Unicorn is a very niche one. I think it looks cool, but the hard truth is what it allows you to do is run in the desert, and the other 2 horses can't do it. But with the Magnus well these days, it's a little bit less relevant. It also allows you to run on water, so in the ocean. One thing I thought that was really cool when it first came out as well. The truth is it has a stamina bar, and you're like, that stamina bar, you can run from island to island, which is cool. It's faster than a boat. However, you can't just run from like Velia all the way to, Land in the Morning Light. The stamina bar is not that great. So realistic is running from like Velia to island, and then island to island, and then that's what it is. Is it better? Sure, but I mean, of the 3, you want to get them eventually, but that's like the least effective one. So yeah, the next thing I want to talk about is number 5, infinite potions. Everyone needs them, and it's probably better to buy them than, grind them out. Someone has to grind them out to sell it. However, if you want yours as fast as you can, buying it is the best way. If you want to say you made it yourself, just start doing the weekly quests and everything. And I believe there's a new quest line that you could do that gives you a bunch of these Atanis thingies from Fugar. So like these materials, and then you just start crafting the infinite potion pieces you want. So with that said, infinite potions, very important. However, doing it around like the 230, 250 AP area while you're actually playing through seasons and everything is probably going to be more effective, just because like you're in that AP range anyway, versus doing it when you're, I don't know, 300 AP and you're just like, wow, I'm grinding these infinite potion pieces at like 600 mil an hour when I could be grinding, somewhere else making 2 billion silver an hour. So yeah, it just feels worse doing it later on. But nowadays in 2025, I'd recommend being able to just buy it, grind the spot you enjoy, and then buy it. So let me see, where would it be? Consumables, potions, that makes sense. Yeah, they just kind of sit on the market, at least here on NA. Maybe EU. I don't know this, but from what I've heard from the EU players, there's a lot more life skillers. That way, these kind of just sit on the market a little bit more. But either way, it doesn't matter what the price is. If the price is at max price 20 billion, yeah, it's still worth grinding it out and buying it versus making it yourself. But it's one of those things that someone has to do. And the truth is, you don't want to be that person, just because like time is valuable. So either way, if you're going to do it yourself, you might as well just do it on seasons versus doing it later on. And those are the 5 tips I wanted to give you guys. And an extra tip that I can give is early on, you want to tag a character. The reason why you do this is because you do get XP when your tag character is, just tagged. So let's say you grind for an hour at wherever. Your tagged character will get that XP as well as your main. So it's like leveling up 2 characters at once. And if you want to try multiple characters eventually in the game, that's one way to do it. Or, you don't want to try a trial character. Yeah, just make sure to tag it. It copies your gear over, and it'll give you like a little sword icon over here. So like if it's yellow, that means it's your main gear. And if I show you this one over here, it'll show a blue sword. That means it's your tagged gear. And so if you enhance either one of them, it reflects on your main or tagged gear. So just make sure to keep that in mind. And I know people that got confused, clicked it, and thinking that tag gear can just be like reset. No, it reflects your main gear as well. But that's about it. Those are the 5 tips plus a bonus to give you guys, and 5 things to do when you're on seasons, or just start doing early on instead of waiting till later. So I know people are lazy, and just when you think of adventure journals, you're just like, I don't want to do it. Yeah, I know, me too. They still come out with adventure journals every now and then. I'm just like, I don't want to do it, but you got to do it. So yeah, with that said, thanks so much for watching. If you're new to your channel and you enjoyed it, hit that subscribe button, drop a quick like. I'd love to see you come back, and I'll see you tomorrow.